But now it is starting time, and we go green in Coda. And it looks like it is a good getaway from Copy as he already gets himself alongside Wow. He wants to take that lead into turn 1. And Wow is going to close in on him, and that leaves the door open for Danny to slip through. I think the racing point of Julian is going through reasonably well. He's in P7, goes off track a little bit, but he has survived the starting phase, which is important, crucial for him. Wow keeps his P2. He didn't lose out to Danico in the end. And Wow already has got himself almost a second over gap. Julian with an optimistic move on Triton.
It's a massive dive.
Gets himself into P6.
Who's that? Tipsy Bob and NJJ going side by side in the S's. Is this going to end well? It might not. Justin can capitalise.
Most certainly warning for Tipsy, but maybe it is worth it because he gets the move done.
Wow!
And now he's through into P10, and that was some extraordinary driving, though it was aided by going off track a little bit. Well, Copy is now going to make it stick on Light Cruiser, I'm sure, and if he doesn't, then Julian will, and he does strike early enough for Julian. Also goes side by side. Is this 3 wide? It's only 2 wide for Julian Light Cruiser.
It was, and it's calmed down a bit for now. But Julian right on the back of his championship rival.
Copy's had a bad line, I think. Julian is so close! And Light Cruiser crashes into Julian, but Julian's car didn't feel any of that. What was that all about? Oh, nice rejoin, amazing!
No!
Triton!
He's gone into Triton, he's causing collisions, and the Haas gets past Fox, but...
able to get past, and Wow just finishes that race 20 seconds earlier than anyone else. And that was a very well-deserved victory.
Welcome to Sao Paulo, Brazil for the classic Interlagos circuit. Many champions have been crowned here on this anti-clockwise circuit. It allows for some fantastic overtaking with fast and furious racing. Let's see a hot lap from SLR driver Icewind. So here we are on board the Mercedes with SLR driver Icewind, the Finland Finnish man. Quite a pissy young man he is himself. I say young man, he's actually the same as me. But anyway, here we go, approaching the start of his Brazilian Grand Prix, heading up into turn 1, carrying well over 300 kph. It's very tricky first braking point. Easy on the throttle as we drop down to the standard S. You don't want to be too harsh on the throttle here because you'll get a kick off oversteer. And then nice and wide, using all the track you can onto this DRS zone, giving you a chance to set yourself up for this next section. Dropping down to the 4th gear, this fantastic, one of my favourite sections of the lap, this double left-hander. Flat out again, then as we rise up into this very fast 6 and 7, and then pinpoint braking needed just here to line yourself up nicely for another tricky entry point here off to turn 8 onto the hairpin. Back up the hill now for another tricky entry point. It's all about Brazil, these tricky entry points as we see a little bit of a lock up here. And then easy in on the throttle once again, dropping down flat out as you can, getting your corner entry pinpoints, scratching just the edge of the curb, and then flat out giving the car all you've got, everything you've got, all your love, straightening out this corner as best as you can, clipping a little bit of the edge of the pit wall, and that completes the lap.
And we should be live now. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are here once again for SLR, and this time it's the 20th round. We are here in Brazil, and it is potentially a championship decider. Last season, wait, our mics unmuted. I'm not quite sure I hit the hotkey. Can you check that? So
yes, we're live.
Okay, that's great. Also with mics, that's good. Okay, so last season here, maybe you remember, the Season 3 championship has been decided here at the Brazilian Grand Prix in Interlagos. Beautiful track which Tipsy just showed you a lap of as we're riding on board with Fox right now. That championship, of course, ended with Speedy taking victory and being the third SLR champion. And it all ended because Bailey Thompson failed to properly get through the field. And he crashed out of turn 5, ended in a wall, and pretty memorable moment of last season. And why am I telling you all of this? Because we have a scenario at our hands that might be a little similar. And oh, it's not properly scaled. I am so happy. On screen you can see the potential scenarios that would lead to the championship being decided today. Of course, we've got Copy and Julian as the two guys who can still win the championship. And Julian leads, so he needs to outscore Copy by 4 points if he wants to win the championship. And here you can see the scenarios for that to happen. So maybe we're gonna see a new champion, 4 champions in 4 seasons, or Copy can carry it over, extend the championship fight till next week when we're in Abu Dhabi, and maybe he can become SLR's first ever 2-time champion, as he's of course already won in season 2. Well, it's gonna be exciting to see, and I don't know what's gonna happen, obviously, and I'm excited to find out.
Yeah, I mean, outscoring Julian by 4 points is going to be difficult. I mean, even outscoring Copy by 4 points is going to be difficult. I mean, outscoring Copy at all is always difficult. And knowing Copy, he's not one to finish outside the top 6, even when he is when he's struggling. He's still going to be inside the top 6, I would assume, and especially when he's in the championship fight and he knows it counts. So, in my opinion, I don't think we're going to see it wrapped up today, but you never know what can happen in turn 1. It's quite a flowing track here, but it's easy to make mistakes, lose on the traction, maybe a spin, which we saw last season with the championship contender. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they approach this one.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting. Of course, Copy, in the season he won, season 2, he didn't look like he was like even properly in the championship fight. And then he just carried himself through consistent results into the last. Oh dear!
In the pits. Wow.
That was almost a drama here for Fox and Jensen. So, or I assume it was Jensen, maybe it was Bryce. So. That went well then in the end. Anyway, so Copy carried himself into the last round of the season, was just about in the championship fight, and when everyone else around him made mistakes and got collected, he just put in a flawless drive and went on to win the championship. So maybe if he can get himself into Abu Dhabi, still be in the championship fight, I wouldn't count him out. He's done it once, he can surely do it twice.
Yeah, he's definitely got it in him. Almost all of these Tier 1 drivers have got it in them to win a championship. It's just mistakes at key times that keep them out of contention. After the first runs, Jensen's on top with a 8.2. Wow, very close behind. And then we've got Julian and Danny in the 0.3s. So for the first runs, an 8.2 is a good time.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, that's past Tier 2 pole time. Of course, Tier 1
yeah.
expected to be quicker than Tier 2. But it's nothing to...
Wait, is it? What was the Tier 2 time? Pole.
I think it was actually also 0.2 because Satoshi did a 0.3
yeah.
and he was only a 10th off, is what I've been told. So, I think that's about how it went. Anyway, so we're gonna see that. Julian has put in an 8.3 for his first run, but Copy has kinda bottled it presumably, and I think we should follow him around for a bit and see how it goes for him as he comes towards turn 1. You've of course already seen the hold up with Tipsy, and now we're gonna see it from Copy. Stays tight here, goes to second for that extra turn in, and now really nicely held in the track limits. Must say, here he stays tight, opens DRS. Someone's coming out of the pits. I assume he's gonna get out of the way. Yeah, that's Max Spelt. So Copy flies into turn 4 then. Onto the curb on the outside, keeps it tight again. That's a short line, and now turn 6. This is one of the most interesting turns in the calendar in my opinion. And he's taken that really well. Nice double apex here, top of the hill. Easy to lose control. Still gonna hold it there. Let's see. He doesn't go into first. Take that, Slash. Up the hill. And here he has to short shift. He doesn't do it as much as I expected him to. It's still going to be a very good lap. Here's the second sector time, and according to my screen, it's a purple one, but I don't know if that's to be believed. And
Astra had a purple sector 1, and he's coming across the line now. He can go P9, but where's
Copy across the
Copy
line, and that is provisional pole position.
1.
I did not see that coming. That was, I mean, it was a brilliant lap, of course, but I didn't think...
Jensen's on lap. Sorry, he's up on his time as well, by almost a 10th. So we might see Jensen coming back at Copy straight away here.
Yeah, right now it would just not be enough, but it's only after one sector, so I guess he's going to gain some time of that. He is definitely on for the top step of the podium today, and
yeah,
right now...
Up by a 10th coming through Julian Cow, the final corner as they come through the first, about to start the first sector again, but he's going to finish his lap. He's going to come across the line. Will he take pole back? He will! An 8.0, that's a 10th quicker than Copy.
Yeah, I mean, it would be so important for Copy if he could get that pole and more specifically that race win today. It would be so important. He needs to get that in, but Danico across the line also puts Copy down one position, so he's in P3. Wow, in P4, and Julian just in P5 so far. But he's gonna come across.
He's gonna get a nice slipstream from the Toro Rosso. Might not be too much effect, but he's definitely going to gain some time because of that. He comes across the line. Oh, it's very close between him and Jensen. He improves by 2/10, and Danny improved there to an 8.0 as well, so it's very, very close to the top.
Yeah, I didn't know you were looking at WoW. I was watching Julian and was like, he's already over the line. What's Joel talking about? So yeah, WoW gets himself into P2 just ahead of... Oh! Whoa! Who's that? Is that Gary? No, that's NJJ. Spun in that corner. And now he needs to...
I mean, it might be a bit too early to judge, but it doesn't look like Julian's on the pace.
Yeah, I mean...
At the moment.
Copy has impressed me with this first lap. I mean, you expect people to be a little bit more conservative on their first lap. To be honest, I didn't see anything of that, but I mean, what do I know? I wouldn't be able to spot it anyway, so... Maybe he was pushing flat out, but maybe he's still got some time in there, and if it's the case, then I'm sure he'll be able to challenge. He needs... I mean, for him, the game is to finish... well, to basically win and then get as many cars as possible between himself and Julian.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, it's really crunch time, really, in the championship. The gap's 23. If he can bring that down before Abu Dhabi, then he might have a really good finale next week. But we'll find that out in 7 minutes and 33 or 34 laps time. But Gary is going to come across the line as well. He's coming through the flat-out left-hander. Up by 3/10.
That's really fast.
This could be the top 3 for him.
Yeah, he might be on to beating Copy here as well.
Slipstream as well from the Mercedes. I think that's Astro Boy's about to start his lap. He's going to come across the line, keep it close to the wall on the left. He's going to go P5, so he lost a bit of time in that final
Splits
section.
the championship rivals though. And, I mean... Like really good lap from Tipsy. It's an 8.5. It's finally stepping his game up. It's a little bit late though. Tipsy, this game is about to be over. Why are you improving now? Anyway, so I mean, realistically, Julian's not going to finish worse than like 5th without an incident in Abu Dhabi. And if Copy wins that, I mean, like realistically, Copy could, in the very, very best case, and I doubt that's going to happen, but in the best case, he could gain like 15 points at Abu Dhabi without Julian crashing. So getting himself into a range where he can actually properly influence it and win on his own like win on his own terms, be the one that is, or that his performance actually matters. That's going to be important, getting himself into that winner, because right now there were no points changes and we had it into the last round with 23 points, then there's nothing Copy could do except hoping, and it's all in Julian's hands. So he wants to be able to get the championship back into a position where he can win it with his own strength, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and he might be on for an improvement here, speaking of Copy.
Doesn't look like it though. He was not quite up, but maybe the last... Oh, wow, that is...
Oh, exactly the same time.
1,000th of a second, actually. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Thanks,
yeah.
Neff. I forgot tires. It's literally... I mean, everyone is gonna go for softs here. I see Popo's driving around on mediums right now, so maybe he's doing something funny.
Danny's started a lap as well.
That's
So has Wow. And Jensen bails out of his run, so he'll be able to get out for another one. Wow's up by 3/4 of a tenth as we go through the long left-hander downhill. Danny getting out of the way nicely. He would have abandoned his lap then.
Yeah, he invalidated and I actually got it displayed, so that's amazing.
Nice.
Really nice, yeah. Copy in lap.
Yeah. This is a really difficult corner here. You use second or third. They're going into first there for Wow, and then short shifting back up to third. Coming through the final corner, he's going to get a nice slipstream as well. I think that is off of Triton, and he has a bit of a moment there on the exit. So Wow, it doesn't look to be improving down the straight, and he's backed off. He's going to come into the pits, then he's going to put a new set of tyres on and go out again. Same with Copy, and obviously Danny invalidated. So the top four not looking to improve on these runs. They want to get in as quick as possible so they can get the best of the track conditions.
4 minutes to go, and I wonder who can still improve. I've seen last season Jensen doing 7-8, I believe. So theoretically there's still time in there. It's just all about who gets to put it together and who can keep his nerves. Because like for me personally, every time I see the green delta lap time delta, then I always get the butterflies going, and it all goes wrong. So I mean, there's just so much tension here, and they have to go or hold through it to not bottle their laps. Now Gary is on a lap actually. So he's looking to get himself onto the top two front rows, and it's going to be interesting. Justin getting out of the way quite nicely. And we're still waiting for Copy and Julian to release themselves out of the pits.
Yeah, I mean, I might be a bit too early, to be honest. You can go out with 1.5 minutes remaining and you'll still get your lap in. Gary then, coming through the second sector split.
Oh, that's apparently purple, at least according to my screen. I don't know if
I think it might be. Yeah, he's up by around half a tenth. Did he gain time on the exit though? That's really the only place you can gain time on the final sector.
Oh,
he's going to go up to P4.
So that Copy needs to improve if he wants to be in the top two front rows. And the two championship rivals are relegated to the third starting row. And now they are also both on the outlaps.
Yeah, I think Julian's got something in him, you know.
Yeah, I
think he's just going to bang out this 7.7 or something.
I don't trust this either. Having Julian only in P6 is always a little bit suspicious, and now we're gonna find out if it actually is. I'm gonna ride on board with both Julian and Copy in their laps, because that's what it's all about. Who can get as many cars between himself and the championship rival. And we're gonna go across the line for Julian and the hot lap, and that is really close to the grass on the outside. He stays in fourth here. We've seen Copy doing this in second. Let's compare. Yeah, Copy does this in second, and Julian did it in fourth. That's quite some turning he's got on that setup, because I would have understeered like hell there, and he's up by a 10th already. And copy is invalid. Or he's abandoned.
He backed off. He downshifted too quickly into the CRSs and had a little bit of a slide, so he's going to back off and go again.
Yeah, he's got enough time, and also with the strategy, which I haven't mentioned yet, being a one-stop, easy, soft, medium, I mean, one more lap on those tires is not gonna matter. Tipsy only in P10 with that banging lap, so must be happy with the time, maybe not happy with the position he's gonna get out of it, but Julian right now is not on course for pole. He's maybe not even on course for the top 3, but it's all gonna come down to how good that run was. Jugos has put himself into P4, and now Julian is gonna hold it tight towards the line. And where can he get himself? From P7 to P2! That was some time in that last corner, and and it's so important that he's brought himself ahead of Wow and Danico. Just a little bit slower.
Watch Wow. Copy started his final run, hoping to improve, but Wow started his as well. He was up 1/10 in the first sector, so if he keeps his lap together, this could be pole for Wow.
It's looking really good, just about keeps it on the curb here. Now he needs to downshift for the turn in, up to 3rd, and put the foot down, 5th, 6th, and now for the last corner, this is important. What's the sector split? He's up by 2/10 and a half. That is incredible, and it doesn't look like this last corner was bad at all. So he's gonna keep that, and he's gonna carry it across the line. That's maybe, or probably going to be a 7.8. And a provisional pole position is taken by the Renault of Wow for sure. Can Jensen counter? Jensen is only up by 1/10, so he's likely gonna place 2nd here.
He's coming through the final corner now. He's up by 1.8 tenths. So he's going to come through. If he can make that 2 tenths, he'll be close to the top 3.
All right,
what can he do?
Copy, and Copy goes 3rd.
Oh, Julian's not going to improve. It's 4th for Julian, 3rd for Copy. Wow's going to be on pole, and that is your grid. Unless Fox can improve. No, he's invalidated. So this is your grid for the Brazilian Grand Prix. 3rd and 4th for the championship rivals, but the right way round in Copy's eyes, looking to make up positions in the race. But that was a brilliant lap from Wow.
Absolutely amazing from both of them, and also Copy with a really good lap. And he finally, he's struggled so much over the last rounds compared to Julian, but he's finally managed to get himself ahead of him in one session at least. It's only qualifying, but beating him and by around 2/10 is important. The only problem he's gonna have is the fact that Julian lately has had a history of being really, really good and aggressive. Oh my god, what the hell? Off race starts, I was jump scared there. Oh. Anyways, so Julian is gonna try real hard to get ahead of his championship rival right off the start. I don't know. I think Copy is more conservative than Julian is. So maybe that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. I mean, we know Copy is good at avoiding penalties, so maybe that can come into his hands later in the race. But I think we might see a direct fight between the two championship rivals. Wow up there then on P1 with Jensen alongside him in the front row. Wow will have the inside line, which is what he wants. Very close between the top 3 there. So Copy was nearly up in the front row, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was really close. He needed half a tenth or something. Is the lobby bugged out? Ah, no, okay. I don't think I got to see the result screen.
Okay.
I had to watch cars go.
It happens sometimes.
Well,
apparently next year in 2020, we're getting a live Delta in spectator view in quali.
Oh dear, that's cool.
Like you have it when you're driving around.
That's so cool. Why can't we have?
We'll be able to shout more about how Wow's up by 4 tenths.
Oh, that's amazing. I'll just shout it in every second that I notice. 2020 is certainly going to be an exciting time.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. It's also going to be epic that probably the first league races will head before the first actual real life races. Or no,
Yeah.
no, just no.
Well,
No, if the
it
start of
depends
July.
really.
Game's getting launched in July, and the first races are in July now. So
I know,
we're gonna
yeah,
be
but
like,
it might not be in July, might it?
yeah, we're
They might just cancel another one.
well, I doubt it. Didn't they literally confirm that there were gonna be two races?
Yeah,
at
but you
Silverstone?
they can't really say that they're going to race because they don't know what's going to happen.
I think it's gonna happen. Optimistic. I think they thought it through, probably. Well,
Popo P19.
yeah,
What's that about?
Yeah, let's have a look at a racing series that isn't hampered by viruses. That's why esports is better. You just still play it when you're sick. Who cares? Anyway. Yeah, I don't know what happened with Popo. I saw him drive around in mediums in the qualifying, but I think he probably put another time in. It would be kind of weird for him. And Justin's done really well in qualifying as well. Put himself in P12. A good position to attack, just like Tipsy, but Justin's on the counter strategy. Just like NJJ, Bascadini, and the bottom three. Shaka also making his debut in Tier 1, isn't he? I think he's not driven Tier 1 before. Isn't he like a Tier 4 guy?
Tier 3, yes.
Tier 3? Well, that's a jump. I couldn't, well, I probably could drive in Tier 1 and be like, somewhere. Like, I'd probably be with Max and Shaka, to be honest.
Yeah. I would be nowhere near them.
Well, I mean...
I'd be lapped like 3 times by lap 10.
Because your race pace is a problem, but your quali pace is really good, so...
Yeah, but I'm not no assist, so that's the catch.
That's true, I forgot that, yeah, well... Yeah, watch this just be a joke from me, flexing about how I don't use assists and feel better about myself. Anyway, so... I wonder who's gonna feel better about themselves after turn 1. That was such a smooth transition, I love myself. Anyways, so we're waiting for the lights. For the second to last time, here in Brazil, the championship might be decided today. And we go green in Interlagos, and I think it's been a good launch from WoW. He is solidly ahead of Jensen by the looks of things, and he's going to lead into turn 1. But Julian is already on the attack for Copy, but for now he's clear. And we're going to go through the center as no one has spun or anything. We see some cars going off track in the background, but now Julian will probably try and go for his first attack on his championship rival. No, not yet. So, clean start. I think Triton is on the inside. He's on the attack. Tipsy's dropped some positions! Big carnage in the background. Fox around. And there was some wing flying all over the place. I don't know what happened there. Tipsy and Triton are fighting side by side. Triton in a huge wiggle out up the hill. And now maybe Tipsy with a lunge. No, Justin tries to hang it around the outside. Up front. Nothing has moved. Justin's on the inside on Tipsy.
Julian right on the back of Copy here. He's got to make this move count early on the race if he thinks he has the pace to get past. It's going to be the first time they come through the home straight at full speed. What can Julian do? But looking down the rest of the field, relatively clean apart from that turn 4 incident.
Yeah, I don't quite know what happened. Probably someone got turned
Julian
around.
is looking all over the back of Copy. He's turned his DRS down though. He's not going to look for the move yet, but Jensen is keeping well on it here. He's looking up the back of him in every corner. And that's Max and Light Cruiser going side by side. Light Cruiser's now having a look at Popo. He's on the charge. Both on the medium tyres. What can he do into turn 4? He's on the outside. And he's going to back off. Is he going to get a switch back? Popo is parking the bus there into that corner. It's the long right-hander next. I think it's going to be a try in vain for Light Cruiser because he can't make that thick. But that's lap 1.
Julian needs to get ahead of Copy here. Without fastest laps, he needs 1 car between himself and Copy if he wants to win the championship here. So even if he made that move, it would not be enough by itself, but he would go into the final round with 25 points on him. So this move.
He's looking to make the move now, is he?
Oh no, he's
No,
turned it down, but he's still looking
he's
for
gonna
it.
Go down the inside. Is there going to be contact? I think it's very clean racing. Julian gets that done, but Cobby is going to have the DRS back on this straight here. I think he's going to go for it. He has to.
Justin is around. Anyways, up front.
Cobby backed out. He was gaining, but he thought better of it.
Now Danny's really close.
Yeah, also they don't want to lose time to the top 2 here. Cobby knows that if he wants to win the championship, he has to get into the top 2. And Julian is preventing that for the minute. So them fighting is gonna hamper Cobby. So that's what Julian wants. Pretorius is out of the session.
Oh yeah, he's reconnecting. I see Mercedes strategy. What?
The 2 McLarens again. This is familiar. Remember the 2 McLarens at Brazil last season?
I've seen.
They just crashed into each other.
I've seen this one before. This is gonna be Satoshi meet Brazil in Abu Dhabi anyway. So up the hill. I wonder if Copy can do something, but it looks like his race pace is not as good as his quality pace. Yeah, but that cruiser looks like
easy
he's
move
cleared
there.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
And that's the view from the rear wing of Copy coming into turn 4, and it looks like his pace in the race is not as good as in quali, which is surprising. Normally Copy is known for the exact opposite. So he really needs to hold on if he wants to be able to maybe win this championship. Max Spurts with a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. The fact that he's pitting now tells you that his race wasn't looking good anyways, and this is not gonna make it any better.
So Jensen on the back of WoW. I think he just wants to stay in DRS for the moment, charge his battery, and then make a move later on in the race. But meanwhile, Julian, Copy, Danny, Hugo's, Gary, Astro, that whole train is catching up to these front runners, as WoW doesn't look to have the pace he had in USA.
Not quite. He's only cleared them by 1/10 a lap so far, and not more. So Danico on Copy. I mean, Copy must be
Triton on Bryce. Is he going to send it? Ooh, that was really close from Triton. He looked to the inside, but Bryce defended that really late. That could have been a massive collision, but managed to avoid that with some very heavy braking. But Tipsy's going to gain from this. He's on the back of the points, so we're looking to get past these 2. NJJ and Bascadinho running close as well.
Yeah, they are down the order a little bit. So Julian doesn't have any DRS to Jensen still, but how is it looking between Copy and Julian? 7/10 for now, and that's at the end of the DRS race. So if this
Triton and Bryce again, sorry. But he's going down the inside, Triton is. I think he's going to get that move done. Oh, it was almost a Verstappen knock-on moment again there. Tipsy's going to look to get past Bryce now as well. Is Bryce going to lose 2 positions in 3 corners?
Oh, Tipsy might be completely out of ERS, but he's not out of tricks, and now he's got the move into P10, and it uses all that ERS he still has to hang on to the back of Triton. To stay with him, side by side running, are also Lycruz and NJJ fighting through, oh no, that's Bascadinho fighting through turn 5, now turn 6, NJJ's got the inside, but maybe Bascadinho with a heroic around the outside, no, has to slot in behind him.
It looks like Bascadinho's got wing damage on the right end plate. It's not there, so he's going to drop down the order.
Oh, Jensen! What's happened?
Whoa, what's happened?
Jensen's in P5!
What happened there? Did he just try and take that left-hander flat out and go on the grass? It's easy to do, but this gives WoW a 1.4 second lead now. It's up to Julian.
Oh, what has he done? Now he needs to fight himself back through the order, and that's gonna be tough. That's getting an on NJJ.
And 2.
Yeah, I've seen this one before. And also, Astro Boys and Gary are really close to each other, but I think on this lap nothing will happen. So, oh, Bryce and Tipsy side by side. I've seen this one before as well. Tipsy goes round, and he's just about hanging on to 5%.
Good move, yeah.
And Jensen is already past Danny, so he's slicing through the field here. That's an unusual overtaking spot, but he's got it done. And that temporarily got Copy a little bit of resting time. But not for long, as Copy will soon need to look into his mirror again, for Jensen is absolutely storming there. And also he needs to look ahead, because he's just barely hanging on to the DRS of Julian. Oh, no, he's not even, he's out of the DRS.
I think Jensen's going to be coming through very quickly. What's that? It's yellow flags for Shaka.
Shaka in sector 2.
Doing very well.
Tipsy, we've got yellows. That's not Tipsy.
That's still Shaka. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
He's spinning back round.
Nice.
Oh, Tipsy!
Dear, that was a wiggle and a half. Julian is actually.
You've seen an esports driver do that before?
I haven't. I don't watch esports.
Okay.
Which was so much more exciting, you see.
Even though you were talking about it earlier, but okay.
Huh?
So.
Esports driver doing that before? I've no clue.
No, just talking. You were talking about esports earlier.
Oh.
During quali.
Esports in general. That was formation. Yeah. Yeah, I don't watch it though. This is esports as well. It's just not the esports series. iRacing is esports. My League of Legends bronze games are esports. Be quiet.
The senior team on the junior team here is Gary on the back of Hugo's. Don't think he's going to be making a move though, too far back. And who's that out the way? That's Max. Okay, that's Max. Making way for the faster cars. Who's that? It's a McLaren of Light Cruiser. So he's made a mistake. He's got passed by his teammate again.
So he needs to recover. I think he's probably done the same thing Jensen's done earlier.
Yeah, it's very easy to do.
It's just the Dutch people.
Well, it's not. The Dutch people and one Englishman.
Huh?
The Dutch people and one Englishman.
Which Englishman has done that?
Me.
Oh, amazing.
From P5.
Amazing. Well, not actually, but like, amazing. That is...
Jensen's already back on the back of Copy, so...
He's so quick today. What is he doing?
Yeah.
He's looked like kinda meh through parts of the season, but today he looks absolutely strong. I'm feeling more confident, more and more confident seeing this, and having the knowledge that he wants to coach me for Abu Dhabi. So
it's going to be a very, very easy move. Back on the racing line before the braking zone. So Jensen back up into the podium positions after his mistake.
Now it might be the towing truck for Copy to get back onto the back of Julian, but not with that mistake, as Copy almost loses it on traction there, and has got a very angry Ferrari in his rearview mirror. As it stands right now, the championship would be Julian's, but I full on expect Jensen to close that gap.
Looking very easy for Jensen at the moment to naturally have the pace over his rivals.
Tipsy and Bryce are not
again
giving me any
Oh!
He's on the inside, and that's a very curious place to run side by side. Looks like Tipsy might just have it. It's a very long
Pretorius is on the back as well.
Yeah, we're coming into the Albon corner, and Bryce goes down the inside of Tipsy, scares him off the apex, and Pretorius wants to follow them, but he doesn't get to, so he needs to lift off, maybe with a switchback down the inside into Jinsao. No. So, I hope no one hates before the pronunciation of that corner, anyways.
Yeah.
Luckily, we don't have any Portuguese people except NJJ, I think. But now Tipsy on the back of Bryce again, and it's probably gonna be a repeat of The move we see all the time. No, it's not, as he loses grip at the outside of the corner, has to run over the curb on the inside a little bit, and now goes onto the back straight. And I think Pretorius is closer to him than he is to Bryce. So both go to the inside, but there's still a car width on the inside of the track. Pretorius decides to go for the outside instead and gets wrestled off the track. Actually, Pretorius is slower than Astro Boys today, which is something we haven't seen in a while. Yellow flags. Sector I, that's Bascadinho. He's retired.
Car!
Safety car! Oh dear, and that's exactly in the pit window as well. Well, not exact, no. More like...
I mean, you should if you're not pitting now, then, well,
yeah, I
you've
mean,
lost the race.
I mean, this is exactly the lap that, when I went... Oh,
Bryce drive
oh,
3 for
Bryce.
speeding.
When I went into the...
But this is exactly what Gobby would want.
Yeah, when I went into the Tier 2 race, I told myself, if the safety car is gonna happen lap 10 onwards, then I'm pitting for mediums. And,
yeah,
so this is the
might see
perfect
some
moment for
jumping
that.
in the pits.
Did I just see the Red Bull crew getting harder? With softs out? Yeah, no. Oh, they've repeatedly changed color. They are mediums though.
We might see some people jumping in the pits, but it looks like the order has stayed the same. Yeah, it has. What's that? Oh no, okay, sorry. It's just my bug. Thought we were side by side out the pit lane there. That's one way to overtake under the safety car. So, I don't know if this is good or bad for the medium runners. We'll have to wait and see.
I think it's bad, unless there turns out to be another safety car later on that they can use. This is also precisely the reason I don't run the off strategy anymore. Because safety cars, of course, get less likely the later you are into a race. So I always take the strategy that has the longest stint as the second one, which would be medium to, which would be soft to medium. So I don't think counter strategies are as good anymore. The safety car patch actually changed it.
Never ever done a safety car restart from the front. I've never done a safety car restart from the front.
I think I've done it.
You must imagine the pressure from like all the cars behind a massive pack.
Yeah.
And it's up to you when you go.
I think I've literally done it.
Can you not just like drive the rest of the race like really slow and not go? No overtaking, we're still under safety car.
Copy would like that if you was
So there's some pit for soft, as Hagrid mentioned. I don't think they're going to be able to get the end, maybe, but it's a long shot.
Actually, I just remember, no, I've actually never led the field until the start. I just do it in ACC and then I'm completely, like, it's super uncomfortable there on the rolling start. I'm so glad that there are no rolling starts in F1 because they're really uncomfortable. Especially when you're like, well, actually, no matter where you are, they are really uncomfortable. I like sudden starts so much more.
Clouds are coming in.
Yeah, I doubt it's gonna rain. I think we've been told, but it's not getting a little overcast might influence the pace just a little bit. I don't know, does it actually influence the pace, the temps properly?
If it's overcast, it depends with tyre temps mostly. It's not really an issue on this track, so it shouldn't affect it too much. Maybe like half a tenth or something. It's like USA. If you get clear weather with the sun beating down, then your tyres are going to overheat, and obviously that's going to slow you down. So it's better to have overcast conditions.
Meanwhile, iRacing, where
things are realistic.
Where things are realistic, no. Where like a cold track is so much quicker in iRacing, just because. Or I don't know if it still is. It probably isn't with the new tyre model, but I know in the old tyre model, like you would always be quickest if your tyres were cold. So, like the esports drivers would never push 100%, and you would always drive like 70% because that's the quickest, because then your tyres are cold. And
Yeah.
and so basically also, if you like sometimes you would have sessions where you're really slow and then you check and then you wonder why, and you look at the weather and you see, right, it's 20 degrees instead of 40, so that's why everything's so quick, or the other way around. It's not quite that way here, and I'm quite glad. So there's some things F1 does well, but others don't that much. I wonder how all this is going to shake out after the safety car restart. We are precisely 2 proper corners from it. And,
Well, it's good for Jensen after his mistake. Obviously, the gaps have all been neutralised, so he could get back up into the top 2 and start, well, resume challenging WoW, as the safety car will be in this lap then. So WoW will slow down the field as the safety car pulls away. Its lights go out, and that means it's time to get ready for the drivers. We'll all be looking to make up positions. It could be very chaotic indeed. Copy needs to capitalise.
Oh, this is a backup. Oh dear, they are so close. WoW is going really slowly, and now we're gonna go back into green flag racing, and Julian and Jensen are actually already side by side. I wonder if there's gonna be a move into turn 1. Copy looking down the inside of Jensen. He wants to get himself up the order. Jensen has already got Julian, so they are. So Julian is now at the mercy of his championship rival, P3 and P4, the two of them. Justin gets a penalty for that, and now Copy might just take the upper hand back in the fight for the championship. No, he doesn't, and he actually breaks so early. Oh, Danny!
No! Massive crash at the back there. Hugo sent it on Danny. Danny's going to get his revenge. He's going to go down the inside, is he? This will be a brilliant move if he can make that.
Yeah, he's missing his left end plate, and he
does.
still made that. That's an absolute downforce corner. How has he done that without the front wing? That's incredible. Triton finds a really nice gap and gets 2 positions. Popo's up into P13. But Popo will need to pit again as Light Cruiser. Astro Boy is luckily ghosts, because he would have wiped out Triton had he not. And he's running inside the car Light Cruiser, which is also not what you want to see. So that was from the restart, just what Jensen wanted to see. I mean, he was in P2, and then he made a mistake. After that mistake, he gained 2 positions on a safety car restart, brings him right back where he was before. Gary pits, he's likely lost the front wing, and that's going to throw
Gary
him
was
right.
involved in that incident with Hugo's.
It's going to throw him right out of contention. Hugos needs to get past Danny Co soon, because Danny's going to hold him up with the wing damage he's picked up.
Yeah, Copy tried to make the move there on Julian, but then saw Hugo's coming, torpedoing down the inside
Like
in the Toro Rosso.
Oh, Popo off track! And he is going really slowly, he's not getting back on track. Yeah, that was a little over-respectful. I think there's probably some frustration in that. That's at least what I gathered from the body language of his car. Not going for the track instantly, just waiting and being sad. So that's Popo down P16 at the back of the train. I just wonder how much quicker is Hugos than Danny, and can Hugos make the move on this lap? I think he should, but I don't know if he can.
I think DRS will be enabled as we come across the line, and Danny's out of the DRS, so maybe Hugo's can do the move on the back straight. I doubt. No, he's not going to do it into turn 1.
With his Jensen AI? Okay, never mind. Pretorius has made his move. Made his way past Tipsy. Well, Tipsy's still contesting. Astro Boys. Oh, Popo's retired from the session. That's in the pit lane. Yeah, I read that body language right then. As Triton and Astro are fighting. They've met each other on track earlier, and this time it all goes well for the moment. Though Triton gets a really bad run, and maybe Light Cruiser is going to stick his nose down the inside in turn 6. No. Okay, good. That would have likely resulted in a shocking.
Shaka and Max going side by side. Shaka on the outside, had to back off there.
And Copy has already dropped Julian, hasn't? The other way around. Julian's already dropped Copy now with the Now with the DRS, he seems to be very well in control of this gap, and I think... Oh, that's gonna be so close, but I think Copy just doesn't have it. Yeah, he does have DRS, and that's so incredibly close. Gonna lose out big time on the straight. And Julian sets the fastest lap of the race, and that's where we're at right now. So with that fastest lap, he would actually win the championship.
Triton picks up a penalty. Is this Hugo's and Danny?
Finally, but
Hugo's
Danny
on the
is
outside.
resisting. Danny resists and he doesn't give this one up, and they're gonna run side by side into turn 6, but I think Danny has to yield, and Astro Boys is retired. There must have been a crash, but we're still watching this, and there's another safety car.
Well, Triton and NJJ were in the middle of a battle there.
Where's that happened? Oh, that's
that was on the exit of turn 4.
Turn 5,
Or
yeah.
5, yeah.
Oh dear.
It must have gone into someone's side pod. It looks like the way he's on the track.
Oh, Triton. Triton gets a penalty. So now Copy gets another shot to stay with Julian. Actually, I think this is...
Do you think this is good for the medium runners?
Yeah, I mean, this is like a little early, but they could make it to the end on softs, would be like 65% or something. At least they could with my tire protection, which is like none. But NJJ decides to stay out.
It's a gift for Danny.
Yeah, Danny and Hugo both into the pits. Hugo must have had damage as well, but just didn't see it.
I think it'd be a waste of time for any of the top 4 to pit. But Triton now up into P5 after all of that. NJJ didn't pit, even though he's started on medium.
I think he should have, especially because you're gonna get like 2 laps without any tire there.
Yeah.
Would have been a no-brainer for me, but I guess he has a different opinion. I wonder if Gary is gonna make it to the end on softs. Ironic that
Chaka up to 9th.
I wonder. Ironic that one of the Red Bulls has pitted for softs in lap 16, and the other one isn't sure if he wants softs in lap 19. It's a different approach of two sides of the garage.
So Wow's going to be thinking in that cockpit. He's going to have to try and do something different on this restart because they know what he did last time.
Yeah.
So they'll be expecting him to do something different. So it's all mind games. This Copy as well, gifted with another chance. He needs to capitalise with this. What's happening with NJJ and Triton? NJJ finally decides to pit.
I think you just wasted a lap there. But it's not gonna do much. But I think he could have been like ahead of Gary Hughes. Maybe, I don't know. Justin comes into the pits as well, so he's gonna have another chance. Also, Max Sports gets another try at this. He's been way down the order. Now he will be able to drive to the end. And at the end of the race, everyone's tires will be dead, but his won't. So that's going to be interesting.
Okay, so
who was the guy
it
who
was.
got a drive through? Who was that again?
I don't know. Well, I actually can't remember now.
I can't either. Wasn't it Bryce?
I think yeah. He served it. I think. Well, he has to.
Yeah, it was.
Otherwise,
Bryce.
he'd be disqualified.
Yeah, checked. It was Bryce.
But Astro and NJJ came together. That's what led to Astro's retirement.
Rest in peace. He's done a good job. He was finally ahead of his Timat and failed to convert it into actual points on the standings. So rip Astro. But Pretorius is now running in P6, so he's done well. And I think I'm getting a nosebleed, so you might be alone for a bit.
Okay.
That's amazing. Well, I don't know, it just feels like it. I'm gonna check.
Wait, Oh no, it's safety car in this lap. I've just realised. And Wow's doing the same thing.
Oh god.
Look at the whole of the pack behind him. Hugo's with a 5-second penalty, collision with Bryce. But Jensen, into turn 1, he can't make anything of it. Julian and Copy fighting side by side as well. They sort it out before they get to the apex. Pretorius and Triton.
And
Pretorius went round the outside there. Tipsy right on the back as well. He's going to get Triton, is he?
Oh, that's such
I don't think he is.
It's not going to go well.
It's Bryce on Shaka.
Everyone.
I don't think Shaka's going to put up much of a fight, but he does. He's trying to hold it around the outside. Everyone looking to make up moves on the safety car restart. We're going 3 wide into turn 6. Danny goes around the outside of his teammate. Light Cruiser looking to go down the inside.
Absolute lunge, and he's made it stick actually. So you go
now Gary. Come around the outside.
You guys just tumbled down the order now. Oh wow, Justin, nice move from him. Absolutely sends it around the outside.
Shaka's getting swamped, which is not very nice to see, but he's doing well out there. As the top 4 are pulling away. Pretorius managing to stay on the back of this train as well. So is Triton and Tipsy. Hugo's and Bryce going side by side. Hugo's gets that move done, but is Bryce going to fight it back into turn 1? He does on his hard tyres.
Oh
no! Nearly spins. He managed to save that, but Danny gets back up the order as well because of that.
He gets to hold on, but now Lycra is also on his back. Bryce has got an absolute mountain to climb in the last laps because he's in P10, but he has hard tyres and everyone else has got fresh soft, so he's going to be an absolutely sitting duck. And Lycra, can he pull it off in turn 6? Yes, he can. Bryce Evolutioner needs to get his nose out of there and does so to avoid an incident. And now Gary's the next one to go through. He must feel absolutely disrespected as everyone's driving circles around him. But it's not because he's a slow driver, no, it is because his tyres are absolute garbage compared to these fresh softs everyone else has. And now Justin is through, so Bryce Evolution dropping like a stone here.
P seeming to be dropping the top 3 again. It just doesn't look like he has the pace in this race, but who's that now? Hugo's on the back of Tipsy going side by side as they cross the line to start the 24th lap, and Hugo's looks to have got
Wow, he's
that
got a
done.
penalty. That's huge. Wow has a penalty.
And the gap only 2/10 as well, so this is the move for Tipsy. He's going to stay back for now on Hugo's.
He's lost the position just in the start of this lap, and he wasn't able to counter, and I think after this tight sector 2 he's going to have dropped them and needs to look into the rear view mirror because there is Danny Coe coming.
So that means if the gaps stay relatively similar, Wow will drop down to someone is 6th, won't he? And that means that Julian will be the champion, because Julian will be 2nd, Copy will be 3rd, which means the gap is 18 and 15 is 4 now, so we'll still need fastest lap.
Oh wait,
but Hugo's on Triton.
Oh, move for the lead. Jensen's alongside Wow, and they're going to fight it through the center S. And I think Wow just gets to defend this, but Julian, the championship leader, will probably get to attack Jensen. Jensen's an absolute sitting duck without the DRS, and now Julian makes the move for P2, and that is done. Oh,
yeah.
Squeezed off his Jensen, and
It
that
is
was
now.
what he needed. So now he's even more in a championship winning position he was before because he's got the fastest lap. But I might also just hold him up. Julian is actually in the lead of this race now with a penalty situation. So
Yeah, it will still be looking to pass Wow on track though. We know he's a showman.
So Jensen wiggling a little bit out of that corner. Lycra is pretty close to Tipsy because Tipsy is also going to be in a little bit of trouble. So is Triton. They're all dropping. The soft runners are coming through the field. I wonder how far they can go. How far can Yugos go? He's only a 2nd behind Pretorius, and he might actually get up to Copy. And Julian super close to Wow.
Danny and Triton.
Oh,
Danny gets past easily. Triton didn't put up much of a fight.
And Light Cruiser's just behind Tipsy. We're gonna go on to
Got a much better exit there out of the
main straight. Oh!
turn 3.
Almost to the move for Julian. He looks so aggressive, but he needs to execute the safety, otherwise it's gonna go all wrong. Light Cruiser's claimed the position of Tipsy, Rob. And white goes Jensen. I don't think Copy is in the position to fight it though. I mean,
Good midfield battles going on as well.
I mean, Copy needs to get past. He knows he needs to step it up a little bit if he doesn't want to lose the championship here. I'm sure I'll get to experience this feeling on Thursday. It's quite high tension here, everything. I think the next overtake is probably gonna be Yugos on Pretorius. On the main straight, 13 lap bolt mediums are not gonna hold up against the fresh softs, and the red tires stand for pace, and they let Yugos up into P5. Gary also doing something similar to Tips, even though he's going to be forced to look after his tires very soon, as he has already got 10 laps on him.
Looking for the battle for P10. Danny gets the penalty. So that's not going to help his recovery up the field.
Can you check the warnings for the top 4?
Yes.
Actually check Yugos as well, because he'll be on the back of them very soon. You can, from this nice handycam shot, you can already see the Toro Rosso getting closer and closer in the background.
Obviously, Wow with the penalty. He has 1 warning on top of that. Julian with nothing. Jensen 2 warnings. Copy nothing, as you would expect. And Hugo's, he's got a 5-second penalty. He hasn't served
That's
that
probably
yet.
gonna be taken off if it's not his fault. I mean,
He's got 1 warning.
It was a collision, and it is not served. Oh, Triton Light Cruiser! I think I saw something here. Yeah, they are banging wheels here, coming through the centers, and now Gary wants to be the third one who laughs. Maybe Triton loses 2 positions at once. No, he actually goes for the counter-attack, and Light Cruiser, who entered the DRS measurement point as first, so he's not gonna get any more open wing, and that is a re-overtake from Triton after he's lost that position in turn 1, and nicely done from him. Good counter-attack. Julian is within half a second of Wow still.
And who has the fastest lap at the moment? Because it's going to be crucial at the moment.
Julian.
It is Julian, so it's looking good for him.
Even if he doesn't win and loses this position to Jensen, even if he came 3rd and Copy came 4th, he would still be champion, because he needs 4 points. And Danny is past Pretorius.
Oh, it's Gary. Gary's got the fastest lap now.
Oh, he's oh wow, okay. I doubt Julian will be able to take it back with the tire situation and all. Light Cruiser looking at taking something else back, and that is P8 as he fights Triton, and I think this time he's got it. Even though they're still running side by side, I think down the order there's also a fight between Tipsy and Justin, but for now let's focus on this. And Light Cruiser's got it done. So nicely done from him. Shaka ahead of Max Spiltz for now. He's got his nose ahead as we head into the left-hander of turn 5. And no congestion into turn 6. It's always dangerous to even have a look there. So that's why Max doesn't. I wonder if Julian is aware of the penalty. Go on.
I'm not sure, but Jensen looking quite close to Julian, so he might be looking to take this P2 back from his friend Julian in the racing point. But coming through turn 3 now onto the back straight, can Julian make anything of the challenge for the lead? It looks like he might. No, he's in 0 ERS. He's just going to stay back. He taps the back of a wow there. But no incident from it.
Yeah, but if you look at the ERS situation, that's a theme. I mean, Copy's good in conserving tires and not getting penalties, but Julian is amazing at conserving ERS. The two guys around him have so much less than him. He's almost driving with a full battery, so he's got he's got all the cards in his hand, and now he can just try and strike on wow and take that lead.
Yeah. It's good for Copy, all this battling. He's managed to catch back up to the train for the podium positions.
Astro Boys has started Assetto Corsa because
yes, I noticed that.
I mean, F1 is amazing. I love it. Anyways,
is it going to be round 2 for Julian? Looking on the back, he's deploying.
Yeah, on this restart,
he realises he can't get past, so he puts it back and down into 0.
It looks like on this restart, Copy is able to actually hang on to the back of the wheels. Maybe they're just not going the pace, maybe he's finally found his form, but it might just be a little bit too late in this race. He's beaten Julian and Crowley, but he needed the pace he's got now to keep the young Dutchman behind him.
As it stands, Julian will be champion and win the race as well, because of Wow's penalty. Copy needs to do something special here.
I mean, the problem is he is just absolutely locked here because he's not gonna get past Jensen. Jensen's got DRS. Jensen's not gonna get past Julian because Julian's got DRS, and Julian probably doesn't even want to overtake Wow properly. So I think Copy is just in a very poor position here. If he got to overtake both of them, then he would be in a great position, but that's just not going to happen that way.
Julian's not showing any intent of getting past Wow. The Copy only needs to get past Jensen. He can keep the title alive. Or can he? No, he can't.
No,
because
he can't.
then they'd be P1 and 2.
Yeah. Gary with another penalty. So that might actually give more points to Justin, or 1 more point after he's already scored last time. He is so close, but he just doesn't want to overtake him. He knows if he's gonna do it, then he's at risk of getting overtaken himself, and there Jensen almost getting in the rear of Julian. That would have been an absolute tragedy. Imagine being in a racing point fighting for the championship of SLR and then spinning in Brazil. That would be quite tragic, I think. Anyway,
On this corner, yeah.
that was it was a different one for Bailey, but
I thought it was that corner there, wasn't it?
that's the one they just drove through now.
Yeah.
25, yeah. Triton and Gary actually fighting, and it look. Oh, Triton is well off track. That's not the circuit. The circuit.
Jensen made a mistake there, and all of a sudden, Copy's on the back of him even more than he was before.
It would be so important for Copy to get past, and we'll finally bring him into a position where he can actually fight. But I don't think it's gonna happen. And
You're on the limit all the time. Especially in Tier 1, and it's really hard to make the difference to overtake a driver, as you're on the limit all the time to keep up with the pace. So unless Copy's got something in him that he's leaving until very late, I think it's Julian's day.
I think it is. Jensen! Wow! He had a look there. Might have been really important. I thought he was gonna go for it. Is he maybe actually going to? No, he's not, but he looks so close. I think he might actually try and swing this back in Copy's favor. And, yeah, he's going to go for it. The two Dutchmen are gonna fly down the main straight, and maybe Jensen cannot break him. He's got his nose behind though, so Julian might just be able to defend the Senna S, and yes, he's still ahead.
For the championship,
Yeah,
even though it's Jensen, he knows the situation, and he's deploying everything he's got. He has to keep ahead.
Yeah, but he's just not got the same tools Julian has, and I think he's just blown his only chance at this, because now Julian is aware again. I think he was hanging back a little bit, and now he's finally deploying. Oh, that's a penalty. Well, that's Copy and P2, but that's not gonna help Copy because P2.
That has helped Copy, yeah.
Yeah.
Still not going to be enough though. As it stands, Julian still be champion.
Yeah, it would be
P1 and 2. The gap is bigger than 4. It's 7, isn't it? So.
Yeah, it would be a 1-2 for the championship leaders, and I mean that's not gonna help Copy. Actually, Yugos is now on the back of him.
Yeah. So this becoming a 5-car train. Maybe Yannico can get on the action as well.
So he's come from
yes,
nowhere.
he is. Yellow flag set to 2.
NJJ in the Red Bull, but he's been down the order, so this doesn't change much. And now Julian maybe on WoW. I mean, he must be aware of the penalty. The runner driver ahead of him myself, as he has to be aware of everything, and I'm sure he is. And I think this lap is going to be the one where he actually wants to make the move, stick on the main straight. But he also come across the Liars first. I think it's all in his hand. As Wow's got 25%, Julian's got 70%.
They're about to come on to the final lap as well. So it's all or nothing really for Copy. He's got nothing to lose apart from the championship. I just realised what I said there. But in terms of he's got nothing to lose to push, yeah. So he doesn't make it, then oh well. But at least he tried, and we're going through the penultimate DRS zone. Maybe it's a chance for Julian to take this championship in style.
Oh, Yugos has overtaken Copy, and I think this is now more than over. As everyone
he hasn't yet. Copy takes it back.
Yeah, he wants to come.
Copy will have the DRS. So does Hugo's.
All for the optics, but yeah, not.
His Copy's going to keep that for now.
Not a way past, and.
Oh, Julian and Wow, getting so close. We come.
Looking so close, and this is almost certainly over. Julian has had stellar pace all season. He's been absolutely brilliant all season. He hasn't really put a foot wrong. I can't think of a single race where he's made like a major mistake. And even though Copy, Season 2 champion, was a good challenger, Julian is going to follow Speedy, and he's going to be Season 4 SLR champion. And across the line,
Copy wins. Sorry.
He wins.
Julian wins the championship and the race. Copy had a run on Jensen there, coming across the line. He got past him, but obviously it wasn't enough because Jensen had that penalty. So Bryce coming home in 13th after his strategy and collisions he had in the race. Shaka, a very good 14th from him, holding off Max and NJJ in the end. But that is Season 4 Tier 1 SLR. Copy couldn't hold off Julian any longer. Julian's dominance was proven this race, and there he wins. He wins Brazil, with it the championship. So a very good season from Julian. He started as a reserve and he finishes as the champion. So
quite the grind, the climb.
yes.
I mean, it's absolutely deserved. I think he's also had some no-show races. The copy has had one as well, but I don't think that made a difference in the end. Julian wins with one race to spare, and that just goes on to show you how well he has driven all race. I mean, his pace is just incredible. I remember that. It's got to be a little bit of an anecdote. The first time I saw Julian in a racetrack was in Tour Sorel Season 2. It was called Julian de Rijk, and it was Monza. And I didn't know who that guy was, and he qualified like round where I was, and my team had out for the moment, and then I came together after 5 meters of the race, and I just shouted, "This guy can't drive. This guy is out of the league." At that point, I did not think that 2 years later I would broadcast him winning an SLR championship. Well, also for the fact that I didn't know SLR was going to be a thing back then, but that's not the point. But anyways, he left us after like 2 races, and I didn't know he was quick. I just thought he was some kid, and then he comes back at the start of the season, and I'm like, "Oh, Julian, I think I remember that guy." Right. And I check his pace out on his YouTube channel and see he's absolutely brilliant. And like driving wise, I think, oh dear, this is going to be a serious challenge. And in a season with a lot of strong drivers, I think probably the strongest grid that SLR has seen so far. Season 2 was also really strong with Get Owned and Astro Boys on 2018, and Copy, of course, but Copy is here now as well. I think this is still like the strongest grid, and that kid that I told that he can't drive and that he should be out of the league managed to prove me wrong and win the championship. So
sorry, wrong channel.
Nice. Well, that was Jensen.
Why don't you? You're on the back of WoW for most of the race there.
Yeah.
And trying to get past Julian as well. You had your chances, but he was just too. I don't know. His defense. Did you think it was a bit harsh? But I thought it was fair racing. But
from
Julian really had the pace from Julian on the last couple of laps.
Well, I just tried my best to overtake Julian, but he had DRS as well, so it was no point, and I was trying to making so anxious about me looking into every corner that he would move over for me, because I wanted to really win this race, and I can't overtake WoW if Julian is between us, and he won't go for it anyway because he just needs to finish ahead of Copy, of course. So that last bit was pretty frustrating. That's why I picked up the penalty. Yeah, and I mean, I enjoyed my overtake after the safety car restart that I overtook Julian. I don't know if you were meaning that part, or you really meant the end with Julian in front of me.
Yeah, both actually, I guess.
Yeah.
By the way, sorry if you're very sad. What happened? What happened at the start? Like, did you make a mistake out of the corner?
I was just going to put my car straight for the final corner, and I think I had one tire on the cobbles or something, and I just lost the rear, lost a few positions, and then he made a mistake on the next lap in the mid sector, so I could get him back quite easily, and then I could get Copy with DRS quite easily. Then the first safety car came, and then at the restart I had Julian again, so that was actually I really enjoyed that overtake. It was all or nothing there. I really wanted to win it, and I also knew Julian wouldn't go 100% for it. Just that title in the back of his head. So I was going all out in that corner, and I made it stick. But yeah, in the end, I had also a battle with WoW. Hard but fair. He pushed me a little bit wide on the exit of turn 2. I would have done the same, to be honest. It's just hard but fair racing, and Julian could swoop around and take my P2 away, and then I couldn't overtake anymore because a DRS car was in front of me as well.
Okay.
But funny that WoW and I were the fastest in quali and end up P3, P4.
Yeah.
we both screwed up.
Just the penalty, boys. Unlucky.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I mean, next race is gonna be Abu Dhabi, and Abu Dhabi is certainly known for not having a lot of penalty. Oh wait, well, tough luck.
I don't know. Ask Alonso.
Huh?
Ask Alonso.
Yeah.
Don't get the reference. You don't.
No, okay.
He
Basically,
got the chicane in his last
he got
race.
like 10
times.
5-second penalties.
Yeah.
Well, I did not know that. Anyways.
So there's hope for us, Timo.
Well, anyway, so yeah, it was still a great showing. I mean, the pace was there in quali in the race, and let's hope you can carry that over into next race and then also next season on the new game. But I think I just feel the pressure because I have a feeling a very lucky boy wants to be dragged in. So
Yeah.
so,
Sure.
so I'm gonna get you into the gentleman's lounge, and then we're gonna drag in Julian.
Fine.
So Julian is gonna come in here and hello. You are the champion of SLR Season 4.
Yes.
Yes. How do you feel? How's that?
I don't honestly know how to really feel right now. It hasn't really sunk in yet. So yeah, I honestly don't know what to really say, except that I love this season. It was great. Even though most of the actual fast people didn't really get to race every week with the right commitment, but for those that could, especially Copy, which proved in the end standings that because we were in the top 2. But wow, Jensen and the guys really put up a great fight towards me and Copy as well. So yeah. Props to those guys. I really enjoyed that. And of course, Copy, he drove really well this season too. So yeah, I'm just really happy to finally have this weight off my shoulders. And yeah, honestly, I'm just looking forward to the next race already without too much thinking about this, to be fair. So yeah, I'm just going to try to get on with it again for next week.
Well, you're gonna have plenty of time for that to sink in. I mean, you seem very settled right now. I'm just wondering, how was it in the race? Because Brazil is one of those tracks where, like, you can barely run side by side through some corners, and it's so hard to have like a proper fight without anyone crashing. And you had Jensen absolutely breathing down your neck. Like, did you were you nervous because you knew that in the end, if you both crash out, it's going to be your loss and not his? Like, did you feel the pressure, or was it completely out of your mind?
Honestly, in the beginning, I knew that he was quicker, so I just let him go straight away at the start and the restart. But then at the end, we were in the DRS train, which I know he doesn't like very much from the chat. So yeah, I knew that if I just stayed in P2, I could follow WoW on the slipstream, and Jensen couldn't really get close to me. Like, he could get close, but not quite close enough most of the time. He got close once or twice, and I managed to hold off that. But other than that, other than those attempts, I honestly didn't really notice him. Of course, you know that he's there, and the people behind you are there too. But I was honestly focused on WoW, just to not brake too late and hit him in the rear, because that was my main concern in the race. Because I have a tendency to do that quite often. If I'm following in the DRS, I just outbrake myself. So I was just really trying to not do that, and that's what I did. But you know, Jensen says in the chat that he really does have fair points about DRS trains, but you know, often those kind of races are just really gonna reward drivers with consistency and just patience. And you know, I'm not trying to shit on him, kinda, but you know, that's something that especially myself, I really had to learn in the beginning. I know that he doesn't race too often, so I don't know. I'm not gonna say too much because I don't want to get him to hate me. But you know, this is how these type of races go, and I personally enjoy them if they go the right way for me. If they don't, then I absolutely hate them too. So I see where he's coming from. But you know, those DRS races, they are what they are. You can't really change them on the game. So yeah, no. Just gotta deal with them. Yeah, but to come back to the question, I knew that I could hold them off. So yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh no.
Oh dear. I'm blacking out. I had.
Was it a question about McDonald's beer? I don't know.
I was. I was going to be the last one. I still have it written on the note here. I'm supposed to ask you what you want to, or what you think about chicken McNuggets. That's. I had that written down. You can answer that maybe in the time I'll.
Okay. Well, chicken nuggets from the McDonald's are obviously the best. You know.
Compared to what? Burger King or what are you comparing them to?
Well, anything, any chicken kind of thing.
Oh, any. Okay, yeah.
Honestly, if you just put like a box with 20 in them, I could just eat them straight away without stopping. So yeah.
You say it like it's an accomplishment, but I think it would be harder to stop eating them, anyways.
Yeah.
I didn't remember the other question, but maybe. Oh right.
Yeah.
No, maybe now that the season is over, I'm not gonna ask you about the next race. I'm gonna ask you about the past races. What was it like? What were your do you have any favorite moments of the season or something? If someone was going to make a montage or anything of this season, like, are there moments for your season you would definitely want them to put in? Something is stuck in your memory?
That's actually a really difficult question because usually I remember the exciting moments, but I really don't want to confuse SLR with 2 SRL because we run the same calendar. that would be really awkward. Wait, let me check on my own channel. Maybe I remember it by the thumbnails. That's Twitter. Damn it.
To be fair, I never remember what happens in my races or what happens in races I commentate on either. I just completely black out. I have to rewatch them to know what's going on.
Yeah, I usually remember the good things for like a week or two, maybe at most 3 weeks, but then I kind of forgot them. So, I mean, definitely Australia at the beginning. I actually remember that one at the start. I was actually a reserve driver then, and I had a glitch with the lights, so they didn't go out, and I was waiting for like a second or two more than the rest, and I started from pole and dropped to P11. So that's something from bad luck. So I guess you could put that in.
The drama.
Yeah. I'm actually the Bahrain restart at the safety car. That was pretty spicy too with Astro Boys.
I remember. Oh no.
Yeah. I guess Spain. I don't know. Yeah, Spain. We had a really good battle with WoW actually there, and I remember Jensen overtaking me too. Sometimes he's still messaging me about that actually. Well, not sometimes, but you know, a while ago he was talking about it again, and he told me, oh yeah, how I overtook you there. That was so beautiful.
I'm gonna tell him to do that more often.
Yeah, it was a really good move there. On lap 7 there. I'm actually looking at the video now. No, I looked it up, but yeah. So those are a few moments from early on in the season. Singapore didn't really go well. Russia with Hugo is battling, always trying to stay in the DRS train of each other again, and of course today as well. So those are, I guess, my kind of highlights. So yeah, that's about it, I guess.
I mean, yeah, it was a great season, obviously, for you in the end. So congratulations again, and
thank you very much.
We're gonna see how the tale continues next season. We're gonna have well, probably you on the grid, I guess. We're also probably gonna have Copy on the grid, so that's that's 2 champions. Maybe one of you gets to win their second championship. Maybe we're gonna add someone new, like maybe Jensen, wow, someone of those. That's gonna be interesting to see for certain. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm glad you enjoyed your time this season.
Yes, definitely.
So
it's always fun racing against people that are really competitive. So yeah, I loved it.
That's amazing. I loved watching it, and I will broadcast next season again.
Yes, okay, I'm definitely in.
Aww.
I just want to hear your commentary, but we do need Tara and Joel with like a commentator trio. We need you guys with you know, with your little club, and that would be epic.
That was so nice. Anyways, I'm still.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta be nice to girls like you, with long hair.
I look beautiful. I look absolutely beautiful, and there's nothing you can say to make me change my mind.
Did you get a haircut yet?
No.
Barbershops are open. Barbershops are open again.
I'm not. Yeah, but they are all completely booked out. I live in a small village, and there's like one, and it's completely overbooked, and no one sees me anyway. So I don't feel like I need to.
I'm going on Tuesday, so I'll be sure to send a picture in the general chat.
The hair shaming is going on. No, my hair looks fabulous, and you can't change my mind.
It looks lovely.
Suddenly. Anyway, so we're gonna bring in WoW for last. I hate you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
So that was WoW. Now I'm in a deep existential crisis. I'm probably gonna end my life after this broadcast, but only after interviewing WoW to see how his race went. Hello, the third best on track, and the third in the commentary as well. That was quite. I mean that was quite an exciting race. We were leading for like the entire race, and it didn't really work out. Like, where did you pick up the penalties?
I think I went wide after the back straight, the second straight, 2 times.
Oh.
And I picked up the penalty on the center S, where I cut it just a tiny bit too much, but well, it happens.
Yeah, it's a classic. I mean, after that race, are you, I mean, what kind of feeling is prevailing after that race? Is it more being sad about the fact that you are being disappointed that you didn't get to win that race, or being like feeling motivated from the fact that like in USA you were leading the entire race, and without the penalties you were gonna win it? So like is it more that feels good about the pace, or annoyed about the penalty, or probably both?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. It's kind of both, because that penalty, of course, is annoying, and I could have easily avoided that. But on the other hand, I think without the penalty, Julian would have even tried a little bit more to overtake me. He said, what?
Did you feel that he was holding back, or?
Yeah, you can tell as the one in front. You can tell if the driver behind is just playing it safe. Yeah.
So I mean that must have helped then.
Yeah, of course. But I was still trying to create the gap. Although I knew every lap, I knew it wouldn't happen, but I still tried. I pushed and tried everything. But no, it's still a pretty good result, I guess. Yeah. Although I wanted to win, of course.
I mean, wait, did you finish third or fourth?
I finished third, but I think Hugos is going to appeal
he's
his.
gonna appeal his penalty.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna be fourth. But
that's unlucky.
Nah, it's alright. Like you said, that the pace was pretty good, and that's what I'm gonna be happy about. Yeah.
I mean, that's certainly a good way to look at that race. You did a brilliant job, even though it wasn't enough in the end. I mean, there's one race left in the season, and then we're gonna move on to 2020. So for that last race, do you are you one of the people who absolutely hates Abu Dhabi? Can you tolerate the track?
Well, I think it's actually pretty fun if you get it right. But the strategy is gonna be difficult to tell, and that's what I hate about Abu Dhabi. It's just that you can't tell the right strategy.
Like Mexico, kinda.
Yeah, I hate those tracks where there are like 2 or 3 different strategies working, and you have to figure out which one is the fastest. Yeah, but I think I'm gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean it's all situational, and every I mean, you never know when the traffic is gonna hit, when the safety cars are gonna be there, if there's gonna be any safety car when you can push. So it's kind of a gamble. It's annoying to be able to pick the wrong strategy and then basically be out of contention already without any fault. So I totally get that. I'm very worried about that for next week as well.
Exactly. Well, I think we're gonna get you prepared for that.
I mean in Mexico, as I brought up myself. It's kind of similar to that. So in Mexico, I made the wrong strategy call, I think, on every single occasion. Like every time I should have pitted, I didn't, and the other way. So
well done.
It wasn't great. I did a three-stop strategy, so improving on that should not be too hard. And also gonna wish you good luck next week to get me to do the right strategy. No, to pull the right strategy off yourself, of course, in the very important Tier 1 race that I'm concerned about.
We're both doing the right strategy, yeah, for sure.
The objectively right one. Well, we're gonna see. That's gonna be exciting to find out.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for coming in for the interview, and
no problem. Jensen is waiting for you. Yeah, I have to tell you. Jensen is waiting for you.
Oh no!
Oh yes.
Oh no! Oh no! I've already done 35 laps. Oh no! Well, what does he want? So thanks for joining us in the commentary booth for the interview, and it's going to be interesting to see you see you out on track next week, and it's certainly going to be exciting. So have a nice evening. And
yeah, thanks. You too.
Yeah, thanks. See you. So that was wow, and that was also the broadcast. So wow, today we've wrapped up the championship. I can't quite believe it's been 4 seasons already. I mean, SLR's been going strong for 4 seasons now. That's 2 full years. I think it started in August or September of 2018. That's crazy. It's come quite the way since the first race I've ever commentated, with Speedy running away by 45 seconds from Ray Ray, and then Triton doing a no-stopper and almost getting on the podium. So nice to see how well the league has evolved to having this season where the top guys actually stay around for the entire season, and you get a proper championship fight, and it extended until Brazil, and it was amazing. So thanks to everyone who was there for the ride. I hope you enjoyed it, and there's one more race which is going to be next week, and we're probably gonna have I have no information on this, but I'm just gonna assume that there's certainly going to be some action on the EJL channel in the off-season. If not for Assetto Corsa, that's gonna be in the off-season. But anyway, so tomorrow is going to be the second to last round in Brazil. You saw Julian being crowned Season 4 champion today, and next week there's also going to be a match point, so to speak, but this time it is against Julian, with actually exactly the same situation, as some idiot needs to outscore Julian by 4 points if he wants to win the championship already, and maybe Julian can bring the fight to Abu Dhabi, but maybe some idiot can wrap it up and become the 7th, or become Season 7 champion. He would be the 4th champion as well. Had 3 different champions in TSL so far as well. So that's going to be hopefully worth your time, and would be great if you watched it. So thanks everyone for sticking with us for tonight. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and good night. Or goodbye. Good evening. Whatever. See ya.